weight of what I had done. The sale was finalized. Harrington's lawyers had confirmed it. In just a matter of days, the estate would no longer be mine. Or theirs. It would belong to strangers, with plans of tearing down walls and raising towers of glass in its place. Grief washed over me. Sharp and relentless. Every corner of this house carried George's voice, his laughter, the imprint of our life together. To let it go felt like tearing out a piece of myself. Yet mingled with the sorrow was something startling relief. For the first time in years, I was not bound to their expectations or their contempt. The burden of upkeep, the chains of obligation, the constant sting of being used and dismissed it, would all end. I placed my hand on the carved banister one last time, whispering to the house itself, as though it might understand. Thank you for holding me all these years. Now it is time to let go. And in that quiet, I steeled myself. The storm was coming, and I was ready to stand in the middle of it, unafraid. The day of Zane's wedding dawned bright and golden, the kind of morning that photographers pray for. I sat alone in my modest apartment, a cup of coffee cooling untouched beside me, as the headlines on my phone filled with names and faces I once knew. Limousines lined the streets of Greenwich. Guests in glittering gowns and tailored suits spilled into the sprawling grounds of the venue. CEOs, politicians, socialites, an audience curated for spectacle, not family. I was not there. My name had been deliberately left off the guest list, though my absence became a topic in itself. From what I later heard, whispers swirled like perfume around the reception hall. She's far too eccentric to appear, one woman speculated. She clings to the old ways, you know. Always so quaint. Megan, I am told, smiled at such remarks, lifting her glass with the elegance of a queen whose strategy had been vindicated. She let them believe I had chosen exile, when the truth was far sharper. Benjamin thrived in that crowd. He shook hands, gave speeches, laughed too loudly at jokes that were not funny. Megan floated at his side, a vision in silver, every gesture rehearsed for the cameras. Zane, poor boy, looked dazzling and empty all at once, his arm linked with Chloe's, their smiles wide enough for magazine covers. On the surface, it was perfection. Beneath it, the cracks waited. The moment came when the photographer announced it was time for the most anticipated part of the day, the Vanderbilt estate photo shoot. Guests murmured with delight. Of course, it made sense. What better backdrop than an ivy-draped mansion that whispered of old money and prestige? Megan had boasted for weeks that those photographs would crown the event. But when the photographer and